Struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share. Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Shaunn. And today's topic that we are going to talk about is just being real with yourself and what that looks like. Nobody can tell you who you are. Nobody can tell you who you should be or how you should run your life. For me personally, I would say that looks like being a mom to my 1-year-old that's in the background. I would say that is, having time to spend with family or just doing things that make yourself comfortable. I would say that it is all about how you perceive yourself, what you have going for yourself, what you want to do for yourself, and the steps that you take to get there. And also, it all depends on how you feel you should run your life. So I am open for any comments, any questions, or anything. The biggest cheerleader in my background, I would say, would definitely be my mom. She's always my cheerleader. The other cheerleader that's in my back, that has my back, is my number one next to my mom is my other half, who is currently in the hospital right now. So keep him in your prayers, and I'm looking forward to him coming home. What else? Another big cheerleader of mine, I would definitely have to say, even though he cannot fully talk right now, is my son, who I live and breathe for daily. Um, yeah, those are, well, besides my sisters, of course, but those are three of the biggest cheerleaders that I have right now. Um, yeah, don't know. What else? Let's see. Another topic that I want to talk about is healing and forgiveness, not only for yourself, but for the ones around you that you hold near and dear to you. Um, and the ones that, support you the most, whether it's your mom, your grandmom, your siblings, aunts, uncles, friends, whoever you can think of, you want to become a better you for them instead of trying to see the world from their point of view when you cannot see the world from your own point of view. And, that looks different for everybody. For me, I want to say I try to look at the world through my eyes, but also from my toddler's eyes. And, that looks like keeping him safe and keeping him active. Um, I love you too, Grandma. She's another big supporter. She's definitely always there for me, even when I feel like I don't have anybody. Her, my family in general, and the friends that I do have that's left is always there, no matter what. Speaking of friends, that's my next topic. You want to be cautious as to who you hold near and dear, because even though people might say they're there for you, they support you, support can look funny in the smallest of ways. Support can look like, you starting a business and they buy something from you, or support um, can look like, them sharing your post or interacting with the post that you put up. But the supportiveness that you want to watch out for is, oh, I shared your post, so I should get something out of it. Or, oh, I shared your post, this is what I'm expecting from you now that I helped you out in the sense. Um, you want to be careful with who you have around you, because not everybody has the best interest for you. That can also look like, even with family, that can look like, oh, we're family, so I shouldn't have to pay for things, or we're family, I shouldn't have to support you in a sense so much where I am just, I'm there to physically support you, but mentally, I don't have your best interest at heart. So that is just my take on support. I can't tell everybody how they should feel. I can't tell you how you should interact with somebody who isn't supportive, but that's just my opinion. You deal with people how you deal with them. If you feel as though what I'm saying isn't true, you don't have to listen to me. That is up to you. Um, but that's just my take. As far as forgiveness, either you can forgive the person and move on. I'm not going to necessarily say put it behind you, but you know, you can move on and work on making your relationship stronger with them, or you can forgive them, put it to the side, not let it slide, but also remember how they've treated you, because they do it once, they'll do it again, and it's not easy to come back from. Um, what happened? The other thing that I have learned is that you should also forgive the ones who hasn't necessarily hurt you, in a sense. And I know that sounds weird, but it can seem as though their intentions were pure, but the way it came across could seem a little shaky or a little shady. Um, so you always want to deal with the person the way you would want somebody to deal with you. So if you've crossed the line and you're expecting to move past it, you would want to apologize or find some type of way to make up for it, and to show how you're trying at least to make up for it. Um, Another way you can forgive a person, or I should say, forgive the next person, is by not always trying to get your lick back. And what I mean by that is, if you feel as though somebody crossed the line with you, you don't have to feel like, oh, I need to one up them. And I'm sure most people might not understand what I'm trying to say, but this is for the new generation of adults that is coming up. If you feel as though your supposed friend said something or did something wrong and you don't like it, in a sense, you don't have to try to up them, as in, if they hurt your feelings, let it go. I'm not saying forgive them and forget what happened, but there's a time and place for everything, and trying to hurt them back in that instance isn't important. There's gonna be a time where they will understand where you're coming from and understand the hurt that you went through when they hurt you. But everything isn't about trying to get your lick back. And I can say from experience, I've hurt people in the past, and I've had people hurt me in the past. But some of them I've let go. Other ones I've tried to work it out, realized it wasn't working, and I ended up hurt in the end. Um, it's not always about your feelings. You also have to think about your consequences. Being out in the streets isn't always what it's cracked up to be. Um, you know, there's things like, I don't know, there's a bunch of different ideas to come up with to stay out of the streets. There's a lot of different ideas that, you can come up with to better yourself without having to turn to the streets or turn to violence. There are things that you can do to understand what's going on without having to turn a blind eye to all the negative around you. Um, there's also a bunch of ways that you can understand a person without being physical. There's a bunch of different ways where you can attract the attention that you want without having to, what is the word I'm looking for? Expose yourself in a sense. Like, you don't have to get the attention of a guy by being naked, or, you know, you don't have to throw all your eggs in one basket, as I have learned growing up. Um, most people in general look at the inside quicker than they look at the outside. So if you're the type of person that, is book smart, that will attract a lot more people than you expect, or a lot more people than you think it would. If you are, you know, gamer smart, you'll attract a crowd of people that you've never thought you would attract if you just open your horizon and not be so small minded. Um, there are companies out here that is looking and is hoping for people to step out of their comfortability. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and I'm trying something new. Life is about trying new things. And that is my goal with my podcast, is to try something new, to open up, to experience life through my eyes, the guests that I have coming soon, and even through some of my viewers, with your questions and your concerns, or even your comments. Um, yes, Grandma, I agree. If you value yourself and you be true to yourself, you will win. You will go a lot further than you think. And speaking of value, a lot of parents value material things. A lot of parents value small things. Like for me, when my son first started walking, I valued that. That was something big. That was an achievement. But not all parents, or not all people in general, value things like that. Um, playing sports, I value the wins and losses. Why? Because with the wins, it tells you mentally, like, yeah, I can do this. The losses, it shows you, okay, I didn't win this time, but it gives you an educational standpoint on the other end, on what you need to do better, or what you can do the next time for you to achieve that win. Um, you know, Everything isn't a 50-50 so much as to a give and take. If you give your best, you will receive the best in the end. If you give your worst, not going to say you receive the worst, but you won't necessarily win what you're achieving or what you're trying to achieve. Um, you know, I live day to day trying to be positive. It might not always look that way, but that's my goal. And I cannot be me if I cannot be real and positive and truthful with myself. So, you know, I am hoping that you guys will take this journey with me in being real, open, honest, truthful, and transparent, not only with yourselves, but with the people around you. If you feel as though a relationship in any way, friendship, an actual relationship, family, friends, whoever, if you feel as though it's not working, it's okay to give space. It's okay to give distance. As long as it's an acceptable and understandable reason. You cannot just give distance with a person just because. that will leave questions, that will leave unopened answers. Um, you know, you cannot give distance because you feel like it. Again, that will leave questions, that will leave unopened answers. And you have to have a valuable reason. I gave you distance because you said something that I didn't agree with. Or I gave you space because you feel like, you know, your opinion is better than mine, or you feel this way and I don't agree with you. And instead of causing an argument, I'm going to let it go. Um, I've learned that in some friendships that I've had, things were one-sided. I don't like one-sidedness, and I'm learning that even now as an adult. Excuse me. But, if you're a one-track minded person, if you're a one-sided person where you only think your opinion is right and that's it, you will not make it. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. A lot of people who think that their opinion is always right don't understand, or don't want to understand where another person is coming from. If you feel like you're always right, then maybe being an extrovert or a people person isn't right for you, because you're going to have a lot of failed relationships, you're going to have a lot of failed friendships, and it's going to even push your family away from you. And in the end, you're going to end up lonely. Um, there are things in life where some of them require an argument, just so both parties can be heard. And then there's other things where, you state your opinion on it and you let it go. You move on, and that's that. But not everything requires you to argue. Not everything requires you to have a million and one opinions, or a million and one different reasons for why you're keeping the argument going weeks and days and months later. Because, we never know when it's our time. We never know when we're going to go. So instead of holding a grudge over something small, talk it out, share your opinions on it, and let it go. If it's not hurting you physically, let it go. State your opinion on it and move on. If you feel like you can't let it go, then maybe that friendship wasn't working for you. Maybe that friendship wasn't right for you. And somebody somewhere opened your eyes to see that you didn't need that friendship. You didn't need that relationship. You didn't need that family member in your life, in your circle. Um, and even, with some kids growing up, they might feel as though their parents don't see where they're coming from. If that's the case, again, you state your opinion in a respectful way, because that's still your parents. But at the same time, you want to let it go and move on. Um, you want to appreciate the little things of life, even if you don't think it's that small, or you don't think you'll be hurt. You want to appreciate the small achievements, even if you're by yourself. I've learned, and we'll get into this more as the podcast goes on, but I've learned that if nobody else celebrates you, you celebrate you. If you feel as though nobody else is in your corner, you're in your own corner. You're your own supporter. You have to have your own back if you feel as though nobody else does. And it's a counterbalance to this give and take called life. You get hit with obstacles, you get hit with, certain situations like death and hospitalizations and stuff like that. And in return, you give your best foot forward. You give it your all. You don't give up. You keep pushing, and you make it known that you do not want to give up, even if it's to yourself. You make it known that you are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose, and that's what you live by day to day. That's my purpose. I am here for something greater. I have a 1-year-old to look after, so I definitely need to give my best foot forward for him. If nothing else, if nobody else, if the world gives up on me today, I have my son I need to look after, and he's watching me. He's watching the things I do. He's watching the way I carry myself. I need to do what I have to do to give him my best. And I cannot give my best if I'm not doing my best. I can't give my best if I'm out here worried about who don't like me, or, I'm worried about the wrong things. I need to worry about what's best for me and what's best for him. If I can't do either of those, then what's the point? I have no point. I have no purpose, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give him my all. If I cannot do that, then I failed as a woman. I failed as a mother. I failed as a daughter, because my mom has always taught me and my sisters to give our best. She might have been hard on us for giving our best, but that's what you have to do. You cannot just give up because things got tough. If I gave up because things got tough, I wouldn't be here. Cut it off. If I gave up, I would not be where I am today. I mean, there are things that I have given up on before, but there are things that I am working on as well. I have dreams. I have aspirations. I have goals. If I continuously give up on myself, then what am I living for? And that's a daily question. If I'm giving up on all of the things that I've wanted to do since I was a kid, what am I living for? I'm not just here just because. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. I need to do what I need to do to better myself, to give my child the best. I'm here to understand why. I'm here to answer any questions that he may have. I'm here to just survive. And I know that sounds bad, but it's the truth. I am here to put my best foot forward. Grandma, you can have him when you want him. But in all seriousness, though, I'm me. And a quote that's not really a quote that I've stuck by for the past couple years has been, I'm me. That's all I can be. And it's me unapologetically, which means I cannot live for you. I cannot do for you if I cannot do for myself, which in turn means I have to live for me. And if I cannot live for me, then I cannot live for my son. If I cannot live for my son, then what am I here for? What is my purpose? Why did I even think about having a kid if I cannot do for him the way I'm supposed to? And that also means, you have to think about the future ahead. If you have a closed circle or a small mind, you should open your horizon. You should experience new things. You should try new things. You should experience life the way it should be. You should try something that you've always wanted to do. Like for me, I want to take my son to the zoo. That is something that I have planned, that's in the works. It would be his first experience, and I love his first everything. His first walks, his first talk. I love it all. If it's something that will help you be you, go for it. Don't worry about the naysayers. Don't worry about who don't understand. Do it for you and only you. Because at the end, that's all you have. That's all you are. That's the only person who matters. If it brings you joy, do it. Don't hold yourself back. Don't say, oh, I can't do it because I got other things going on. I can't do it because I have to work. I can't do it because I have kids. That doesn't make a difference. It won't change a thing. If you have to work, okay, do it on the weekend. If you have kids, make it something that they will also enjoy. Make it something that they can also participate in. Find something. Get out, be active. I'm not saying necessarily you have to go to the gym, but go for a walk, go to the park, go to the library, find something active to do outside the house. It's not fun being cooped up behind four walls all day, every day. Find something to do to be active. I'm not trying to be your coach. I'm not trying to be, your teacher or anything. I'm just trying to support you the way I want you to support me. If you see that I'm doing wrong, there's nothing wrong with corrections. If I notice something is off for you, I'm going to ask, hey, what's going on? Want to talk? If you say no, okay, we don't have to talk. We can sit here in silence until you're ready to talk. But I cannot tell you, oh, you're wrong because you want to be quiet. No, that's not fair to you. All right, Grandma. All right, I will. But, it's nothing wrong with saying, oh, let me do something for me that will make me happy. If you have to, start journaling. That's one of the best things that has helped me. Being a mom now, just everyday life, that's one of the best things you can do is just journal. If you don't want to journal because you don't want nobody to find it, understandable. Put it in your phone. Write notes. You can text yourself. You might look crazy, but it's for you. It's for you to understand you. Nobody can tell you, again, nobody can tell you how to feel. Nobody can tell you what you feel. Nobody can tell you what to do. If you don't want to do it, if it doesn't make you happy, if it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't even, don't put enough pressure into it or don't put enough thought into it to where it still bothers you months, days, weeks down the line, because it's not going to help you. It's not for you to waste your energy on, because the more energy you waste on negativity, the less time you have to live and enjoy life for yourself. The more you waste your energy, the less time you have to be creative. The more energy you waste on anything that doesn't bring you joy, the more time you're just wasting overall in general. You have to do what's best for you and only you. I am a living testament. I did what was best for others, and I've wasted time. I've did what was best for others and was underappreciated. I've did more things for other people than I have had done in return. And it's not fair to you, it's not fair to your family, it's not fair even to your children, because they want the best parts of you. You want the best parts of you. And if you're giving those best parts away freely to other people, how are you going to do the best that you can if you're draining yourself? How are you going to give the best you possible if you are always negative? How are you going to give the best to your children? Again, if you're always negative, it's not fair to try and give your best if it's not really your best. How are you going to try and give your all if you're not 100% in it? It's not fair. So you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else. That means your family, your children, your friends, anybody that you hold close or associate yourself with. You have to do what's best for you first and only you. Because, yeah, they'll be there when you're down, but at the end, recovery is a long road, and they'll be there to physically support you. But mentally, emotionally, you're there by yourself. And that is coming from experience. I had to physically relearn how to walk and talk. Physically, had family members there to support me and help me. And I thank them for that every day. But mentally and emotionally, I was by myself. I was questioning God. I didn't understand why it happened to me. And, I am emotionally damaged from that, because some days, and I'm being so truthful and transparent right now, some days I want to give up. And some days I fight. But overall, it's about fight or flight. For me, every day it's a fight. I've never given up. I've never attempted to give up, but it's about fighting. Your fight is stronger than your flight, which means you are better off giving your all to the very end instead of giving up and taking the easy way out. You are better giving 110% versus the 20% it takes to give up. If you are trying to start a business or, go back to school, do it. What's stopping you? Give it your all. Give it 110%. Give it your best. Do not, and I repeat, do not let anybody tell you otherwise. You have time. You can do it. It is going to be a process. Yes, it is. Because nothing in life is easy. But if you work for it, you will get what you deserve. You work hard enough for it, in the end, you'll look back and be like, yeah, I did that. I got that degree. I got that crown. You know, I did what I had to do to survive. I did what I had to do to push forward. And in the end, if you don't feel like you're doing this for anybody else, do it for yourself. because that is your biggest supporter. That is your number one supporter. You can only depend on yourself. And that's it. Yourself will get you through the hardest times ever. Yes, saying people telling you talking to a therapist will help, or, talking to them will help, and you shouldn't keep your emotions bottled in. You should express yourself. But if I feel like you have a negative thought or a negative emotion behind me not wanting to share, then what's the point? I'm not I'm not gonna share with you for your benefit, just for you to go and talk about me behind my back. Yes, grandma, reward is the best. I mean, not best. Reward is better than the journey, because in the end, your reward is your accomplishment. Your reward is being able to look back and say, I did it. I accomplished my goals. I got that degree. I got that pageant crown. Whatever you're into, go for it. Do not let anybody hold you back. Do not let nothing stop you. Do what you have to do. Make sure that you put your best foot forward, and make sure that you put the best you forward. Because if you give up on yourself, then you have nothing to live for. You have nothing to go off of, I should say. Because it isn't always about how you feel physically. Yes, you can be tired. Yes, you can be aching. You can be, sore, or just not up for it, honestly. But it's about pushing. It's about perseverance. It's about making sure that you have the best you, that you give the best you, or, even you being there for you. And it's not always about having a support system. It's not about having, family there to back you up or anything. It's about you being there for you, because nobody can tell you that you're wrong about how you feel. Nobody can tell you you're wrong for your actions. They'll have their opinions, but if you're going off of pure emotion, your emotions can lead you to places that you don't want to be. Your emotions can lead you to do things that you didn't think about doing until you hit those high emotions. Your emotions can lead you to be in places that you've never dreamed of. Excuse me. And it's all about mind over matter. If your mindset is always, I need to get my lick back, then that's the matter. That's what's the matter. If your mindset is, oh, I can, I will, I am, then that is your outcome. You can be that pageant queen. You can be that teacher, that mom, that model. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. But if you're always negative, that's the outcomes you're going to get. You're going to get a bunch of negativity. You're going to have negative things happen. Again, it's sad to say, but that's what's going to happen. You bring negative, you get negative. You bring positivity, you get positivity. And nobody can tell you how to live your life. Nobody can tell you what you're going to do the next day. It's up to you what you're going to do. That is solely what you have to do. You have to live like it's your last day. You have to love like it's the end of the world. You might not like this person today, but tomorrow they might become your best friend. You might not understand or agree with somebody, but tomorrow they might be the biggest supporter you have. It's all about how you observe life. It's all about how you decide to put your best foot forward. It's about how, you know, you understand life and what's going on around you. Because nobody can tell you that you're wrong. Nobody can tell you that you're right. It's you. You have to go off of what you're feeling. If you walk around and you're always holding your head down and you feel defeated, you're going to be defeated. You have to speak positivity. You have to come up with a list of affirmations and make sure, you know, they're affirmations that you will live by day to day. That is something new that I've learned, and that's something that I'm working on. You know, you have to show that you are okay. You have to feel like you're not above the next person, but you have to believe that you can. And if you can't, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Nothing. Because if you don't ask for help, then you will never know. It's like trying to ride a bike. If you've never ridden a bike before and you just think one day, oh, I'm gonna hop on a bike and I'm going to um get on the bike and I'm gonna just ride down the street. That's not how it works. You have to pedal. You have to take baby steps before you can do so. And that's not gonna work if you cannot take those baby steps before flying down the hill on a bike, because you're going to end up hurting yourself, hurting somebody else, or worse. You have to take those baby steps in life to get to where you want to be. And it's all about baby steps. I'm going to push baby steps my entire podcast. So get sick of it now, because I'm going to push it. You have to take baby steps. If you cannot take baby steps, then you will not grow in life. If you cannot take baby steps, you will not learn in life. Baby steps are important, and you should always, 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 always baby step life. You have a plan that you want to go through with? Okay. But you have to take those baby steps to get there first. If you want to, start a company, you cannot just jump into a company, baking or computer science. You cannot just jump into companies and run a business if you don't know how to mix flour, sugar, eggs, and butter together to make a cake. You cannot jump into a business if you do not know the different parts of a computer to fix one. Because what was the point? You're going to look like a fool trying to start a business if you don't know the first thing of having one. You're going to look like a fool trying to start a business if you've never witnessed somebody start from the ground up. If you've never asked those questions on how they got there. You have to take baby steps. It's going to be hard. It's going to be rough. But you can do it. You have a family to help you. And if you didn't know, this is your newfound family. You have to take baby steps. You have to take baby steps to get to where you want to be. And it's going to be hard, but you can do it. You have support. Just reach out. The smallest and last person that you might think of will be the biggest supporter in your corner. And it will help you a lot. Just reach out. Somebody might understand and might agree with what you're going through. So just, reach out to somebody. They will help you. They will understand where you're coming from. And they might even surprise you and answer any questions you might have. Just reach out and experience life. Don't hold yourself back. Get it together. Get it going. It's all about what you plan on doing and what you want to do. Make sure that you have what you need. Make sure that you plan it out step by step. If it doesn't seem right the first time, go back to the drawing board and maybe, take some things out, retry it. If that didn't work, do it again, because life is about experience. You cannot go through life small-minded. You cannot go through life thinking that you're better than everybody, because everyone goes through challenges. They might not look like what they've been through, because I know I don't, but you have to experience life. I'm not saying your experience is always going to be a negative one, but you have to experience life. Okay, Grandma, I will, and I love you too. But, life is about experiences. Take that leap. Take that leap of faith, as my mom calls it. You have to do what you have to do. And make sure that it's something that will make you comfortable. Make sure that it is something that will bring you joy in the end. Because not everything that makes you comfortable will bring you joy. And not everything that brings you joy will make you comfortable. Like for me, this is not comfortable. I am not used to talking. So this is something new. And you have to go through these things. You have to go through life. You have to experience new things on the daily. And, if you don't experience life as life, you're not experiencing. You're not taking that leap of faith. You're keeping yourself in a bubble. You are holding yourself back. You have to live. And that's the best way I can put it. Holding yourself back is not living. Keeping yourself bottled in or bubbled in is not living. You are missing out on a lot. You have to live life. You have to get out and explore. You have to experience. Excuse me. You have to do what's best for you, because nobody can live your life but you. When you're down and out, you. When you're, sick and shut in, you. Yeah, you'll have family members and friends come and drop, medicine and soup and stuff off to you. But it's up to you to have that determination to get up and move. It's up to you to have that determination to want to fight. It is up to you to get up and live life like nobody's watching. Because in some cases, for some people, it might feel that way. You might feel like you're by yourself in your own little world. That's fine. If that's the way you live it. But if you're attention seeking, or you have to feel like you're fitting in with the in crowd, that's not the way to live life. And again, I can't tell you how to live your life. Nobody else can. Only you can tell you what's best for you. And if you're into doing things that is out of the ordinary, and you have to find the best way to find attention, go for it. But just be cautious about it. Make sure that you are able and willing to hold your ground when the time comes. Make sure you are able to support yourself when that time comes, because the minute you start folding, the minute you are feeling like you want to give up, you have to fight. You have to deal with the consequences that comes with those actions. And you have to live life the best way you can. And that's all. Nobody can hound you. Nobody can, physically express their feelings on you about how they feel, because it's your life. If you don't feel like you want to live it anymore, seek help. Reach out to somebody. If you don't feel like you can reach out to anybody, talk. Just talk to yourself. Go sit in a quiet room. Lock yourself in the bathroom, in a closet. Just talk to yourself. Physically listen to yourself. And if you still feel like you're not listening to yourself, seek help. If you feel like you cannot trust anyone, call me. Text me. I'm available to listen. And I will give you the best advice that I can. But I cannot tell you how you should live your life. I cannot tell you what you should do with your life. Again, I'll give my opinion and any ideas that I think will help. But you have to live life for you the best way you can. And that's it. That's all you can do. And, with that being said, I will see you guys next time. And I hope you enjoy my rambling called My Life. But it's the real. It's honestly how I feel on life. It's my experience. And that's all I can give you. My experience, my opinions, my honest answers. The best knowledge that I have is through what I've been through. The best knowledge I have is my experience. I cannot tell you what to do with your life, because you're going to do what you want to do anyway. So, see y'all next time, and welcome to the family.
T.R.I.VIA's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. T.R.I.VIA's Inspirational Radio Network is not